This week, the Starmer government indicated that it's considering new anti-smoking legislation, which will involve a ban on shisha smoking outside, for instance, in this cafe here, but all over Britain as well. And it's quite a blow, you know, to the cafe culture. Thousands of people come to the Edgware Road every night and all over the country to have a relaxing shisha after work in the evening, to get over some of their sort of stresses and just take part in cafe culture. I'm also here to speak to the people in the cafe in order to discover whether they know about this ban and then what they think about it, what effect it will have on their lives.
We're fully aware of, what alcohol can do, what smoking can do. Again, you can't walk around smoking shisha, so it's not as if you're doing it throughout, all throughout the day like a cigarette. But again, it's just we're all adults. If you're cutting this out, what the bigger picture of it is that shisha brings people together. It doesn't matter what culture you're from. You speak to anyone in London, anyone who's a tourist. Shisha is one of the things that they do. So it actually bridges cultures together, because everyone has shisha, they enjoy it, and they talk about it amongst their friends, and it's just like I say, it's a social thing, and it's not limited to a certain culture, and it's just fun, just like the pub is.
So you're saying it might die out. In other words, what will the effect be on all these businesses?
I think massively, shisha is part of the staple of like a lot of sort of Middle Eastern and not even Middle Eastern, a lot of like shops, a lot of restaurants do shisha, and it is, it's a product that brings in the money.
What do you think of this proposal from the British government that they may well ban shisha?
I think it's very like prohibition-esque, so it reminds me of the early 20th century in America. They're obviously trying to like combat like a public health concern, but I think it's going to make like a reactionary sort of attitude from the public, and people will find their own ways of smoking in public or in their own private sphere.
I really feel as though we're losing a part of what Edgware Road in London kind of stands for in this part of the town.
Sort of part of what it is to be British these days, yeah?
I believe so. Listen, London, as we know, is a melting pot of culture, and this is one part of it as well. And I think that we're kind of getting rid of that, and I think we should definitely think twice before we do that.
I think it might impact a lot of small businesses as well, like the ones in Edgware, particularly like the Middle Eastern families, who run these shisha lounges where a lot of the community comes together. So I think it's going to impact them negatively, and they might have to find their own other ways of bringing people together. It's a shame because it's such a cultural thing as well, so I think it sucks really.
How long have you owned this cafe here in the
It's already close to 36, I say.
36 years?
Yeah. 36 years. 20 years ago, you used to smoke inside and you have air condition.
And where did you come from?
I born in Egypt.
You came from Egypt?
I born in Egypt, I grew up here, and now coming close to 51 years.
I don't know, it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. I think the state is kind of installing these new policies under a guise of care for the people of the state, but I think there are other things that should definitely take priority over literally banning personal freedoms such as shisha, such as smoking in pubs, or just smoking outside. I do understand it is for health reasons, but there are a lot of other ways to, hopefully prevent people from starting to smoke when they're young at least. But I don't think a full-on ban and a target on businesses such as this one is the solution. I think it impacts personal freedom, and I don't think the state should do that at all.
It's got dark while we've been filming tonight, and as it's got dark, these cafes are filled up with smokers of shisha from all ages, all backgrounds, and of course this atmosphere, this picture will vanish from Edgware Road if the Labour legislation goes through, and not just from Edgware Road, but throughout Britain.